recently I shot my Para Ordnance, which I haven't done for a long time. Um, it's actually a P16-40, so it's in 40S&W. So after shooting, or not after, actually, during shooting, I've come to realize that I really, really suck. Um, Basically, shooting my at first at 7 meter wasn't too bad. Like my groupings were decent, and it's not that far off from what I usually do with 9 millimeters. But once I push it out just slightly, few meters more to 10 meters, oh man, it's it's a disaster. Um, it's like I basically went back to when I actually just started shooting almost to that level. Like the groups were large, and also the worst part is because with 9 millimeters, not to say that I'm really good, or not to say that I'm consistent and have a good groupings, but whenever I have more time and concentrate, and I know how to fix my shootings, I can actually pretty much within 10 meters shoot exactly where I want to shoot. Given like it's a slow fire and I'm actually really kind of pay attention, I can probably place that placement shot wherever I want at 10 meters. But with the Para Ordnance at 40, with a 40 S&W caliber, I couldn't even like I don't know what I'm doing wrong, whether it's my grip or whether it was the sight. Definitely, I think it's the trigger. Like my trigger flinch is basically causing it, because the gun itself definitely is an accurate gun. A really good and experienced shooter friend of mine had shot it, but it was like a while ago, and he doesn't even shoot 1911s, and he does shoots like a different type of caliber, like 45, 40, 9 mm, everything. And he's a lot better than me. So he when he shot my para, it was like outstanding groupings, and he was able to do it. So it's not the gun. Definitely, this is not the gun. Any of that issues with the grouping is completely me. It's just all me. So and what I kind of attributes the reason for this kind of like kind of well, not the yeah, like a disaster for me is the recoil. I really haven't got used to the 40 S&W recoil. I've always been shooting 9 millimeters, so once I kind of shoot the 40, even though this Para Ordnance, it is a not very heavy, but it is a heavier gun. It's a double stack 1911, so definitely it should already reduce the recoil quite a bit. And also the recoil spring is very heavy, like very stiff and heavy. So I don't know how much pound it is, but basically when I pull the slide, it is a very heavy pull. So definitely the recoil spring already also help reduce the recoil. Regardless, the recoil impulse from this 40 S&W caliber is actually throwing me off quite a bit. I So when basically at 10 meters, it was really bad. Like I've tried it numerous times at 10 meters, and it's like a lot worse than when I shoot my 9 millimeters in any of my other 9 millimeter handguns. So definitely it's the recoil from the 40, which I just couldn't deal with. And actually, yeah, basically it just feel really defeated after or during and after shooting this. It's like, oh man, I'm really not as good as I thought I was. I'm kind of suck at it in a sense. And yeah, like I said, like I know what's causing it, but I couldn't fix it. I like during the interval, I did some practice dry fire just to make sure I'm not flinching and my trigger control is there. But once I get back and start shooting again, yeah, it's all over the place. As you also notice, there's some feeding issues with the Para. But for me, I don't really shoot too much 1911. And even though this is a really old gun, I really haven't shot this gun too much. So it could still be part within the break-in period, sort of. And I do kind of notice from either from forums and from YouTube, there are bound to be some sort of kind of issues sometimes with 1911s. And for me, I'm okay. I can deal with it because to me, like shooting a 1911, especially not like a combat 1911 where it's let's say like one of those Wilson combat or things like that, like the Colts kind of special 1911 that they basically are built to withstand the kind of reliability and consistency and whatnot. And like I my view of a 1911 is more of like a classic car, is like a classic automobile where you have to really maintain it well. It will probably runs really nice. You get that sensation and that feeling that you can't get from a modern pistol. But I guess sometimes the trade-off is the reliability. So I kind of not really put too much I guess blame or whatnot on some of these okay, like I wouldn't say rare because there actually happened a few times within that 200 rounds, but I don't really care too much of it. Perhaps maybe it's part of the break-in, and even if it's not, I mean, like it's not like a pistol that I shoot a lot anyway. As long as it's not doing it every magazine or like every couple of shots, then I'm okay with it. So yeah, and whether this actually impact my shooting that day, maybe a little bit, but I don't think it really did. I think I just sucked at shooting, dealing with stronger recoil. I mean, that really threw me off that day when I transitioning from 9mm to 40. Haven't had much experience with the 40, and I guess, and yeah, just that overall kind of recoil impact probably threw me off and caused that the poor performance. This feeding issues and whatnot, I don't think it plays that big of a part to it. At 25 meter, as you can see, is yeah, it's a complete disaster. Have like two that actually hit the paper. I mean, like I'm not like a great shot at 25 meter with my 9mm, but at least like 80-90% of the time, I'm at least within the target, and seldom would have shots that went off the paper. In fact, I actually get some groupings with my HK, SFP9, and also the Beretta 92FS, which are the two pistols that actually get some decent, pretty good groupings in my standard. Like obviously this is like compared to other great shooters, it's just garbage as well. But for me, those two pistols, I can produce some decent results in my standard at 25 meter. But for, yeah, with the Para, I didn't even attempt 25 that much, because even at 10 meter, like I tried numerous times and it was just garbage. It was a disaster for me. So I only tried 25 meter twice. So this is the worst. This is the first attempt I did at 25 meter. I did get better later on. I think maybe I kind of adapted a little bit more with the 40 S&W recoil, perhaps, or figure it out a little bit. I think the recoil really threw me off. Like my trigger placement has been at a wrong kind of area when after the shot. It kind of like yeah, really have that impact on my overall kind of fundamentals. My grip probably wasn't holding tight enough, perhaps. Yeah, so the second attempt at 25-meter was a lot better, but it's still like nothing to write home about. It's still not that great. But what's kind of really upsetting me is that 10-meter range. I mean, at that 10 meters, yeah, it's almost like that type of grouping is like usually I get at like 15 or more, but I'm not being able to produce at least somewhere closer to my 9mm. And yeah, it's kind of really goes to show that the fundamental is really important, and I don't think I have that, because I did change my grip a couple of months ago, and to help with the accuracy, which my left thumb on my left hand is basically not depressing on the frame, which in a sense it adds to the consistency for my 9mm. But I think the little bit of a trade-off with that is that my grip, my supporting hand, left hand grip, it's not as tight as previously. So I'm not sure it's something that had yeah, amplified even a lot more with with the 40 recoil, and the fact that stronger recoil really threw me off. Yeah, and yeah, just kind of feeling really defeated shooting that type of results, because I know that, yeah, I'm kind of know that, yeah, I'm probably not gonna be as accurate with the 40 versus the 9mm, but I'm thinking, oh, but it's a 1911, and the Para is actually a very accurate gun. I've seen its performance from my friend's hand, so I know this is a very accurate gun. I thought, oh, maybe it will compensate, and also it's a heavier gun, so maybe I'm probably going to be able to shoot similar, very close to what I usually shoot with my 9mm with like the SFP or the Beretta or the Glock or whatnot. But it didn't turn out that way, and yeah, basically it's like a pretty very poor results that I got from it. Would I be doing more shooting with this at 40? No, and the main reason is because 40 ammos are really expensive. It's almost like a once a year kind of thing I try to do, maybe twice at most. Actually, I have for this, because of the close down of the gun range due to COVID, I've kind of there was a couple of months that I couldn't shoot anyway, and so for this it's like well over a year. Yeah, I think it's actually 2 years that I haven't shot the Para, almost yeah, almost 2 years. So so basically I think I think if I do shoot more 40 S&W, it'll probably improve. I think, I mean, like I think I'm already slightly like got a little bit better near the end of my range session after the first 100 or so rounds. Like as like shown, like when I did the second attempt at the 25-meter, I did better than the first time, so I think there's some improvement once you kind of get back to it. But yeah, like, I mean, yeah, main thing, it's really expensive. Like, even though the 9mm is expensive ammo, but 40 is even much more so. So and for me, going to the range, I don't see that much benefit to pay twice as much to shoot the same paper. Basically, you get a bigger hole, that's it. And yeah, stronger sensation from the recoil. In a sense, it's actually kind of fun. I mean, like, a lot of people kind of say, oh, need to get a gun with like less recoil and whatnot, but for us in Canada, shooting, I mean, it's like a shooting sports, target sports. Unless you're competing, it's impacting your performance. I guess part of the fun, I mean, when you do go to target shooting, is to get that recoil feeling. So I'm not too against it, and actually I like that. It's just that I rather also have the not so poor performance with it, with the recoil. But anyway, it is what it is. Yeah, so anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you also subscribe to my channel. Leave me some comments, whatever it is, in terms of maybe, yeah, suggestion how I should improve next time, and any tips how to deal with shooting guns that are heavier in recoil when you're not too familiar with them. That would be appreciated as well. Yeah, and thank you all for watching.